So I just wanted to make this video about something very close to my heart. Now, a few years ago, The Elder Scrolls Online was released, and when it first released, I wasn't a big fan. It just wasn't what I was expecting. And then a few years later, I got broke. So I decided to play a game which would never end, an MMO. Those never end, and most of them are free. So I tried out a few. Final Fantasy 13, didn't like it too much. World of Warcraft really hasn't aged well. It's garbage trash now. I even couldn't get into RuneScape, but then I remembered, oh, I have a copy of Elder Scrolls Online. I'll try that out. Got really into it. Put in like 1,000 hours in like the first year. It was wild. So I decided to watch a bunch of YouTube videos in order to relive the hype.
Why aren't you reading a script with your eyes closed, asshole?
So I decided to rewatch some of the promotional videos in order to relive the hype from before the game was released. And I found one of them. And it caused an irrational, seething anger in my body that I have never been able to replicate since. It was next level. And it suddenly reoccurred to me the other day on stream, causing all sorts of things to happen, including a post on Home Finding Services Kent, which, if you know this channel, you're very familiar with. Artwork from the indomitable Jingle Jangle JW. Plugging that. But what is this video, you may be asking? What could possibly have caused this outburst? Stop. Well, we're going to look at it today. Let's just start it.
You have to watch it with your eyes closed.
I'm not going to watch it with my eyes closed. I'm not him, okay?
Video games
So something to mention about this entire video, you can tell that these poor actors and actresses were just trying to read their lines, and they dragged them off and were like, we need to do an interview with you right now for this promotional video, for the voice cast reveal. Look at her.
A lot of hardship and tragedy.
She didn't
and
plan
betrayal
this,
going
clearly.
on during
None of
the
them did.
video
None of
game.
the people in this video
And,
planned this, and you can
and I think
tell.
that gives
They're
her,
all trying their hardest.
quite a sort of
But then
sympathetic side that I think
Bumble Dwarf himself, Michael Gambon, comes on screen.
Video games have got better. They're much better now, like The Elder Scrolls is the best one going. I think
This is the best game. This is #1 game of all time. It's the best game ever made.
mine's the best part, but I hope you all love it. I'm sure you will. I'll take away the love and understanding and care, and I hope they take that with them. Thank you. The character.
Okay, I hope you're ready for this. Seriously, if you're stood up watching this, I don't know why you would be, but if you're stood up watching this, sit down, maybe put on some protective clothing, possibly put a wooden stirring spoon in between your teeth because you might bite off your tongue during this procedure.
I'm playing as blind, and so I put my glasses on and I act blind. If you look very carefully, you'll see my eyes are closed, which is very clever for me to do that.
It's very clever for me to do that. If you look very carefully, my character is blind. So when I act the character, I close my eyes. So I can really pretend like I'm blind. That's very clever of me. That's a very big-brained, 300 million IQ move of me to do that. Close my eyes whilst reading my lines to really get into character. Already you're starting to see what my problem is here.
And then I flick them open now and again, just a little tiny bit, to read the lines. The Elder Scrolls Online marks the second video game. Things like that, I have to read them out loud. So how on earth they expect me to play a blind man and also speak a lot leaves me, angry. I get very angry about it.
I get very angry about it. How they expect me to play a blind man and also read. I get enraged. I'm filled with rage because they expect me to play. He's so fucking full of himself. Look at his stupid fucking face. He's so fucking full of himself. What gives him the right to think this shit? I fucking hate this interview. And there's more.
Blind. Lyris,
I'm blind, remember.
Are you all right? Lyris, are you all right?
It's not even a good fucking read of the line. Do you hear that?
Are you all right? How's he like?
It's not even a good read of the line. Are you all right?
Pretty good.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, if I do say so myself. Not to toot my own wrinkly fucking turkey-necked horn, but it's a pretty good fucking line read. Lewis, are you all right? Fuck you, Michael Gambon. Go and bumble dwarf your way into fucking...
Right.
It's ended me. I can't do this.
Doing it.
Fuck Michael Gambon.
Indeed. But let us not...
He's not got his fucking eyes closed. Look at this scene. He hasn't even got his eyes closed, like he just said. That's quite smart of me to do. He's not even fucking doing it. Was this film before he did that? He literally said, like 3 seconds ago, if you look, I have my eyes closed whilst I'm reading it. He doesn't have his fucking eyes closed.
Understanding of where we are bound. The Red Guard Swordmaster, Saisahan, leader of the Imperial Dragon.
He's just doing a dry read.
In truth, I feared you'd kill me.
He is. He's just pulling a fucking r/I'm very smart, as a lot of old people do.
Stood if you knew who I was. You certainly wouldn't have allied with us so readily. I caused this, all of this.
r/I am Michael Gambon. r/ that's very smart of me. r/ I close my eyes when I read.
If Molag Bal destroys this world, the blame will be mine and mine alone. Well, I'd like to play an elf. That's the part I'd be really good at.
I'd like to play an elf. Oh, I fucking love the people that edited this, because they edited out when it asked all the questions. So it looks like they're just responding to nothing, like they just came out with these. I'd like to play an elf.
And elves are quite short. I'm not short, I'm a bit over.
Elves are quite short? Does he know anything about elves? He's thinking of dwarves.
Weight and not very tall, but an elf would appeal to me. They're funny, they're interesting, they climb trees.
They're funny, they're interesting, they climb trees. That's why they appeal to me.
So an elf would be my sort of thing. I'd be an elf. Also, they have the added advantage, elves, of sitting down a lot. I love sitting down.
Sitting down on... What's he fucking going? He's just talking shit. What the fuck is he talking about? Elves have the added advantage of sitting down a lot. Also, they climb trees a lot. They do both of those things at the same time. They sit down whilst they're climbing trees. Maybe they climb the trees to sit down in the trees.
If you played a king or some duke or something, you have to keep walking around. I don't want to do that. So I'd be happy to play an elf. I like the Elder Scrolls. I'm tailor-made for the part. And I'm used to playing blind men. I always play blind men. I enjoy it very much.
He says he enjoys it very much and looks away because he can't bear to think about that he's in a video game. Jesus Christ. Let's read some of the comments, shall we? Man, guys, you guys really did get an awesome voice cast. Freaking Dumbledore, man. To be fair, he is quite smart. Oh my god. I particularly enjoy having Dumbledore talk to me through the game. I don't. The blind man's voice is amazing. No, it's not. He's a prick. He's a fucking... I hate him. When I watched Harry Potter, I was completely... That was pretty much the only thing that I know Michael Gambon from. Obviously, I've seen him in other forgettable-ass films. He's a Shakespearean actor. I've seen him in some Shakespearean productions. Not, like, on stage or anything, but I know of him, like, in films and stuff. And I was completely neutral towards him. I did not care about him until I saw this interview for the Elder Scrolls Online. They get me to play a blind man. And, you know, it's quite smart of me to close my eyes and fumble about in the studio. What a fucking prick. Jess, come over here.
I'm trying to paint your commission, though.
Stick your head in frame here. What do you have to say about Michael Gambon?
Oh, I am very smart. I like to join Girth's videos by closing my eyes. I think it's very smart of me to come on the Girth show every Wednesday and just close my eyes and try to convert my opinions into words. Yes.
Mr. Rick Sanchez himself.
I think Michael Gambon's a big fan of Rick and Morty, low-key.
Yeah, definitely.
I can relate with Rick. I hate everyone in my office.
I can relate with Rick. Anyway, so guys, what do you think about Michael Gambon, specifically the interview he did for the Elder Scrolls Online? Tell me.
I
He's
think
just an
it was
absolute
very
twat.
smart of him, actually.
Yeah.
Just as he said that he really got into character to play a blind man.
He is. It was very smart of him to do that.
I'm not even gonna humor the joke. He's just a twit. An absolute twit.
Do you
Not
think,
even gonna play along. That's not very smart of you, Flub.
do you think less of Michael Gambon after hearing that interview now, or did you always think he was a twit?
I forgot who he was before you gave me that video again, and I'm like, oh yeah,
He didn't have
that's a
much
dude that exists.
reputation to ruin, in my personal opinion. But yeah.
Now, do you have any closing words on Michael Gambon himself? If you could travel back in time and speak to Michael Gambon just before that interview, what would you say to him?
Don't try and don't overthink what you're doing. Just please be like a normal human being. But at the same time, I kind of like the meme, so I might have had to encourage him just a tiny bit.
Alex, what would you
Hey,
say?
Mr. Gambon, big fan. Loved what you did with that Elder Scrolls Online character. You should tell them about that in the interview. That was super intelligent.
Oh my fucking god. It was you the whole time.
I'm secretly actually Dr. Alex.
No!
God. Oh, no.
I think that's enough for today.
I'm very intelligent, as you can see.
Go and watch the video. I'm gonna link it below. It's great if you wanna.
Surpassed intelligence itself, you may say.
Do you think he watches Rick and Morty?
I think I watch Rick and Morty every day. It's
Maybe
getting 300 IQ.
I think Michael Gambon should be in Rick and Morty
Because
he's just so smart. He's so smart.
The blind man cometh.
The blind man cometh. Oh, the smart man cometh.
Please go check the Home Funny post. It's amazing.
Yes.
Thanks, our good friend in the know.
Goodbye, everyone. That's enough. I'm done with this now. Goodbye. So there is a little side note I want to put, because the actor of Molag Bal, the indomitable Malcolm McDowell, very famous actor of Clockwork Orange, Fringe. He's been in a lot of things.
Well, of course I am playing an arch.
I can't tell if he's joking or not in this interview, because I'll just let it play.
Villain, and but as I always say, a piece is only as good often as its villain. And I think this one is particularly nasty, actually. I think he's going to beat up the player of the game quite nicely.
I think he's going to beat up the player of the game quite nicely.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that is word for word what he said. Thank you, Malcolm McDowell.
And
It
by
gets
the
better.
way, he's not really very polite, which I do like about him. I'm from the north of England. We're rather
I like Malcolm McDowell, by the way. I just don't think he quite understands what he's doing here in this video.
gruff in the north of England, and I like that. No nonsense, right to it.
He literally says the character is literally just evil, rude, no nonsense, gets right to it. He seems to have an understanding that this character is not got any depth. It's just literally the god of bad. Molag Bal. That's it. That is what Molag Bal is. The god of lies and tricksters or some shit, right? Yeah. There's no complexity there. He's just bad guy. Duh.
I'm just a bad Molag Bal.
But does he have a heart? Of course he does, yes.
That's the part. Does he have a heart? Of course he does. Where?
A villain without a heart would be a sad thing. So we try and give him some vulnerability. I don't quite know what it is, but
We try to give him some vulnerability. I don't know what it is, but it's there. I'm sure.
And do I enjoy playing them? Of course I do. I mean, I'd much rather play the heavy than the hero.
Submit to the will of Molag Bal. Fall to your knees and...
He's like, do we give him some vulnerability, some weakness? And then literally 2 seconds later, it's him reading, "Submit to Molag Bal. Your weakness will overtake you and you will be dead soon anyway."
If anyone could ever be this smart forever. If anyone could ever think this smarter again. The only thing I ever ask of you, you've got to promise to buy my video game. Whatever that is. I'm clever.